Hey, what's up, peeps? It's Matty. I'm back again. Third fragrance video in as many days. Treating you guys. So, got another first impressions this time. It's a niche release. It's something a bit different to what I normally talk about. This one potentially is going to be more in a gourmand sort of direction. This fragrance has a little bit of hype at the moment. Some very sort of good, people with good taste, some influencers have talked about this one. The name of the perfume is, how do we say, Estrella de la Manana. That's a bit of a mouthful. The house is Une Nuit Nomade. So I think this is a French house. This is from their extracts line. A couple of noted YouTubers / influencers have spoke about this. Sebastian commented on it in one of his videos, did an impression, said it was very, very good, and I do respect his taste a lot. I think he's one of the top guys, definitely a connoisseur, definitely not your run-of-the-mill, YouTube guy in terms of his taste. So if he says something's good normally, piques my ears up. But I think Max 40 as well, another guy who's clearly a connoisseur with good taste, also spoke about this one, said it was one of the top releases last year. So I thought if I can get my nose in it, that'd be great. So basically the other day I posted about it on a UK group. Couple of people said they tried it. One of the chaps on there who happens to be able to get some of these perfumes from France over slightly less than retail, he immediately started to split up and got enough people and split a bottle. So I got myself a 5ml. So thank you very much, Benjamin, if you're out there. Much appreciated, because I can sample it without breaking the bank. I got a 5ml, which is loads. I knew a 5ml for this sort of scent, it seems like 5ml is going to be a lot. A lot of the impressions on this fragrance are that it's extremely strong. Many of them are that it's too strong, really. It's smoky, it's leathery. It's supposed to have a cacao note. We'll go over the fragrance in a second, but yeah, it's a little bit cautious here because it's not normally my kind of fragrance, those sort of beast mode ones. I do like my gourmands though, so that's what led me in the direction of it. When it comes to fragrances with a cocoa or cacao note, I've tried many. I tried to find one which worked for me that I thought was very enjoyable. I didn't really have a huge amount of luck back when I was sampling, kind of sampling a lot of things. I tried to find one which worked for me. I think cacao or cocoa or chocolate is a difficult note to do in a perfume. It's very difficult to balance. It's very difficult to make it smell good, to make it smell appealing. You've got a lot of gourmands out there that use that note. Many of them are very, very sweet, which I do have a bit of a sweet tooth, but not excessively so. So just before we try this, I'll throw out a couple of perfumes which on my journeys into perfumes with a cacao note, there's two that really sort of I found that I thought were really excellent. One of them's called Imperial. It's actually by Navitus, but I wouldn't sort of poo-poo just because it's Navitus. A lot of people have a thing around these brands that are sort of, run by influence and stuff. This particular Navitus, Imperial, is actually perfumed by Francis Kirkjohn and Jérôme di Marino, who's actually the guy who does this one. So both of them are credited on that one. That one is an excellent masculine gourmand. It has a sort of a powdery cacao note. It has a bit of orange, really delicious smelling, has some woodiness in it. Basically, it's a really well balanced perfume, which I would call a chocolate perfume. Top to bottom, it smells quality. It has a powderiness, it has a sweetness, it has a fruitiness, it has a woodiness, which keeps it a bit masculine. I think that one is a real hidden gem. If you haven't smelt that, if you're a guy that wants a chocolate perfume, that one, if you can find it, is really worth checking out because it's outstanding. It really is outstanding. I was really impressed with that one. So I've got a full bottle of that one. And the other one that I found, this one leans much more feminine, but it's Guerlain's Gourmand Coquin, I think is how we say that. Or it's been reformulated / re-released as Fève Gourmande is the latest sort of name for it. That one, in terms of a chocolate note, that one's absolutely amazing. You have to smell that, even if you if you're in any way interested in gourmands and chocolate notes. That one had the best realistic milk chocolate note that really smelled like milk chocolate. It's got a bit of a sort of a rose / cherry vibe, a little bit of rum. I think one of the notes is rum. Anyway, excellent perfume, absolutely delicious, really sexy smell. The only thing is it's a little bit feminine. It's got the sort of pinky sort of vibes to go with the chocolate, which keeps it a bit feminine. If I could go back in time, maybe I would have been a bit more serious about like getting a bottle of that one, because it's, like I said, it's discontinued, now it's re-released. Supposedly the formula's the same, but the reviews seem to suggest otherwise. You never really know these days, because obviously the maturation of the original bottles and stuff, it's very hard to say whether they change the formula or not a lot of the time. But yeah, Fève Gourmande, definitely if you're a lady, it's hands down the best quote-unquote chocolate smell, I think. And I tried many, to be honest. I tried a good amount of niche things that were gourmands, that had prominent chocolate. There's probably much more on the market now. I know Navitas have quite a few. Gourmands seem to be a big hit over the last few years, so there might be something better that's popped up with a chocolate note. But from the ones I tried Acro Dark, I tried all these ones which were meant to be very good, but I didn't find any that I liked as much as Imperial. Imperial blew me away first time around. So anyway, that leads us on to Estrella de la Manana. That's how we say it. I might be butchering the pronunciation there. The perfumer on this is Jérôme di Marino. So he's one of the perfumers that did Imperial, basically. He seems to be Francis Kirkjohn's kind of protege, understudy. He's definitely branching out on his own, though, doing more of his own scents. And he seems to also specialise in gourmands. He does a lot of scents that have these sort of chocolate, hazelnut sort of notes in them. He does a lot in that sort of vein. I don't think I've smelled any by him which are more on the niche end. This is a niche perfume. This is expensive. I think the retail for it may be somewhere around €250 for the bottle, but it's an extract. It's supposed to be very, very strong. I'm a little bit apprehensive because I feel like it might be too strong. Some of the people in the UK fragrance group, when I asked about it, said no, this is just pure leather and smoke, because it does have a leather note. Maybe I'm not going to like it for that reason, but I'm going to try and smell it and appraise whether it has anything in there that will, sort of smooth out, and potentially it'll be one of these ones that you can put on. It will last all day, and it might, as you wear it, it might get smoother and more appealing. But certainly we want to see the opening. We want to see my initial reaction to it. I think it's fun to, just to get your initial reactions, totally uncensored. So we've got this scent. We've said the name. The notes on Fragrantica, it just has birch, cocoa, benzoin, and vanilla. From what I can read about it, people say it's very smoky. I hope that vanilla... Normally I don't like the vanilla to come through too much. In this instance, I hope there is a noticeable vanilla to sort of to offset that sort of smokiness, because I have a feeling it's going to be very strong, very smoky. Hopefully I like it. Hopefully it smells good, but the chances aren't great. I think I'm leaning more towards I might not like this. I've only got 5ml, but a 5ml might be a lot for this fragrance. So we're going to give it a first spray. We're going to see how I react to it. Yeah, it's a strong one. So let's see what I get. Right, here we go. And thank you, Benjamin, again for hooking up the sample, because I could have bought one. There was a site that had it, but I would have got like a mil for the equivalent price. So I got a whole 5ml of this stuff for not too much money. So that's good stuff. All right, here we go. Ooh, okay, very strong. Let's have another spray. I didn't really get much. I got the tiniest amount, and it's already very potent. All right, from the atomizer, it smelled kind of chocolatey. It smelled more gourmand, so that was a good thing. Like normally when I get a sample, if it's a strong perfume, I can get my nose to it and actually smell it without having sprayed the atomizer. I could smell something in here. I could smell something kind of chocolatey going on. All right, let's get another spray, a proper spray this time. There we go. That's a spray. Yeah, this is very intense off the top. I'm not revulsed. That's a good thing. I'm not revulsed by it. It's very intense. It does have a smokiness, and it does. I'm going to have to spray again because I don't think this is not actually as ridiculously beast mode as I thought it might be. So let's spray again. All right, that's a good amount now. I've got a good amount on my hand. This is smelling really good. This is smelling really chocolatey. I like it. It does have quite a bit of a leathery vibe, but it's not as outrageously beast mode as I thought it might be. Like, we smelt some pretty strong gourmands, the likes of Kerosene's, I think, followed. That was maybe the last one I sampled that was like a beast mode gourmand. That one was horrible. I didn't like that at all. I didn't really like the follow previous one to that either. I thought there was something funny about them. This one's really good. This one's really, I've not smelled anything quite. I've smelled a lot that have similar, you can tell the materials in them are similar to what other ones use. But this one's really nice. This one's actually blended really nicely. I get that it's a little bit smoky, but it's not excessively smoky to my nose. The chocolate is very realistic in here. The cacao, the chocolate, the cocoa. It's really nice. I think this is more my thing than Acro's Dark, which was meant to be a very sort of straight to the point, like black, dark chocolate smell, hence the name dark. But this one, I think this one's better. I think this one's the better chocolate. Let's give it another spray. All right, here we go. Does smell slightly liquory off the top, as a lot of these stronger things do. It does smell a bit leathery and smoky, but it's not unbalanced. It's really well done. The vanilla, I don't really get too much of the vanilla, but that's not too much of a problem because the other notes don't seem to be sort of too intense. I might just clear my nose. Yeah, this is really good. This is really good. It's really masculine smelling, that's for sure. So I don't know, unless you're really into those dark smoky notes, I don't think ladies going to love this one too much, but I'm digging it. I'm digging it big time. It does remind me, I mentioned Imperial by the same nose. It does remind me a little bit of Imperial, but it hasn't got the sort of, it really like goes more toward the leather sort of vibe than the gourmand vibe. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try this on skin. I'm gonna have to give it a proper wear, but it's not offensive, which is, obviously we don't want it to be offensive. We're not going to wear it if it's offensive, but that's the first hurdle for a perfume that we know is going to be very bold and very strong. This one, this one is very, I would say it's luxurious. It's exotic smelling. It does a really nice. Yeah, it's not gourmand, but it's not totally like just smoky and leathery. There is enough of that like cocoa vibe poking through to make it like, I don't know, semi-gourmand. I don't know if we'd call it semi-gourmand, but it has gourmand nuances, let's say. Maybe it's quite late here. Normally my sense of smell's not so hot, like very late in the evening, so maybe I need to, try this in the morning sometime, clean myself up. I thought I'd put this on before I grab a shower, just because it's a good time if I need to wash it off. But I'm very interested now to sample this one more thoroughly, to wear it, spray it on the normal areas where I would spray it. I don't really particularly want to put it on my neck right now. I just wanted to do the old, like, do it on the hand, do it on the arm thing. But yeah, very nice, very nice. I'm not disappointed. I'm glad I've got a little decant to test out now. Very pleasant. There is something very slightly medicinal / animalic. I think that's to do with the leather note, or a lot of people said they just got a lot of smoke from this, a sort of like smoky leather. This doesn't smell like a foul sort of smokiness. This smells like quite a restrained smokiness compared to a lot of scents which have a really strong sort of smoky thing. I don't think this is excessively sort of barbecuey in that way. The smoke is quite... Yeah, the smoke is very well blended in with the other notes, with the cocoa and the leather. The leather has a slight animalic touch, but it's not anything that offends me. It's quite well... Yeah, all I can say is it's well restrained and well balanced with the kind of cocoa. And the vanilla is noticeable. I will say I notice the vanilla, but it's very much tucked in on the back end, which is great. It doesn't need to be sort of strong. It just needs to take the edge off, you know, the sort of stronger, maybe harsher notes. But yeah, this Mr. Jerome, he has really, yeah, I can see why the other reviewers praised this one. This is very, very well done. I'm very pleased with it. I'm not going to rush out and buy a bottle, I don't think. This is only putting out a tiny bit when I spray it, so we've sprayed it a few times. The opening is a little bit more, like I said, it's a little more harsh, a little more liquory in how it smells. But in a nice way. I actually like it. I actually like the sort of leathery sort of thing that you get a blast of off the top. It's fairly straightforward. I would say we'll see how it develops, but certainly this first section of the perfume, there's, like I said, there's not many notes. It doesn't really need to develop a huge amount from this. I think it smells really good. I think it's yeah, I think if you're up for something that's a little more like unusual, but not excessively, not sort of totally crazy weird smoke bomb, leather bomb, I think this is really good. It's a really original take on the whole chocolate thing. The chocolate vanilla aspect is probably, if you were to weight how the scent smells, that's probably sort of a third of the scent is that, and 2/3 of it is the leather and the smoke. I was expecting it more to be, you know, we'd get 80%, 90% leather and smoke, and we'd get a tiny bit of other things. This is actually much more balanced than I imagined. I like it a lot, but you have got to like fairly unsweet type gourmands, I guess, or you know, scents in this vein that don't have much sweetness, because there isn't much sweetness, but I definitely get that chocolatiness in the back end, and it's really yummy. It's actually really yummy. As a masculine leaning gourmand, this is really good. I don't think I'm going to be able to say too much more about it. Apart from that, I'm impressed. I like the amount of chocolate and vanilla that I can pick up. It's more than I thought. The leather and the smoke is not obnoxious. It's actually like very refined. It gives you a sort of has a masculine vibe overall. I like it a lot. So thumbs up for that one on first impressions. Maybe I come back and give a more thorough review, but I'll have to give it a more thorough test. I'll have to go out, you know, wear it properly, and I think I'll enjoy it. Judging by what I get here. It's not excessively powdery or dusty either. It has that leathery smoky thing. It's very like almost that sort of it's not barbecue, it's almost kind of like a very soft bonfire sort of smoke, and the leather is not like, there's a certain sort of thing when perfumers create a leather accord which can smell very rubbery. This one doesn't have too much of that. The leather is very, very well done, the way it blends with the other notes. So yeah, top marks for this. Much more impressed than I thought I was going to be. Definitely recommend, if you like chocolate notes, if you like maybe leather / gourmands, put this one in your list to sample, because it's probably one of the better ones that's come out, you know, in recent times. I spoke a little bit about the Balchard Mango Cur. This one's awesome for a leather note. If you want a leather, this is a fruity leather. This is very, very fruity. But this one more for a darker gourmand leather. This is fantastic. Really good stuff. Really, really happy. So yeah, that's going to be my first impressions of Estrella de la Manana. Estrella. I can't say that. It's quite a mouthful. Une Nuit Nomade's Estrella de la Manana. There you go. That's my best that's my best attempt at saying this thing. Lovely. Good stuff. So yeah, there's my first impressions. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope it clarified something. If you guys haven't tried it, and you know, some people are looking to maybe sample this one, definitely worth a sample. I don't think I'm rushing out to buy a bottle of it, but I'm putting it up there with my very best scents that I've smelled, which have a chocolate note. I don't think it's a coincidence that this chap who did Imperial, which I really like, is also responsible with this. I think he's really got something good going in terms of the gourmands, the chocolatey gourmands. That seems to be his lane. He seems to have really like mastered something to do with those sort of notes, which translates to a very wearable but sort of bold like chocolate scent. So yeah, good stuff. Thumbs up. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.